So first of all, mentoring, as we experienced when we started doing these projects in Northern Ireland, with people in the community, creating dialogue or reconciliation with both sides, and mostly using theater of the oppressed. Theater of the oppressed continues being a very important methodology in the work that I do. This invitation to use games and image theater and improvisation of our own personal issues and the social issues around us in order to ask questions of what do we do with this thing that I don't know how to resolve? What do we do with this conflict? And then how we activate the imagination of the group, how we activate the collective intelligence and the collective imagination in trying to find alternatives to conflict. I do not work with conflict resolution. I work with how we transcend the current level of conflict, because conflict is what moves life. I don't see conflict as anything negative. In Colombia, conflict is equipped with violence. So most people don't even want to talk about conflict. And the problem when we don't face conflict is that it gets worse, it increases. And the main conflict that I also want to bring to the workshop is this idea that we are separate from nature. And is a conflict in which we started some centuries ago that separated us from who we are and separated us from everything else in nature. And it has led us to almost destroying our common house. So that is a conflict that I want to address and invite us to reconnect to our own nature, reconnect to each other, and reconnect to ourselves, because we're also constantly in conflict with ourselves. So we're going to explore our own connection to our soul, our connection to each other, and especially to the other person that often we see as nemesis or as enemy, and then our connection to nature. So this is about integrating all those difficulties of this story of separation that we have been engaged in for so long, the separation of humans and nature, masculine, feminine, rationality or logos, and intuition or mythos. We are going to play in nature with theater methodologies, with healing rituals, which is what has been my main interest. We're going to do this in nature, and that's the component of the work that reconnects and deep ecology that I have been exploring during the last 5 years, mostly here in Colombia, while working for the Truth Commission and now working for reconciliation. I feel that when we work with communities, we need to carry as many medicines as possible. And mostly what is medicine is what works for you. What I share is what I have experienced in my own life, in my own body, in my own process of transformation, which is very connected to mentoring, because mentor is that relationship in which two people see each other seeing each other. I mean, in which you see the gift in the other person, and it's often a gift that you also have. And it's not this idea that a mentor knows more than the mentee. No, they both love the same news. They're both intrigued by the same kind of issues. So also in the workshop, we will be calling to people how people are doing this work in their own territories, in their own countries, etc. So it's also an opportunity to exchange. Find people who are equally passionate about this work as we are. We are all going to learn from each other. So that's another invitation that we have, is that we do the work together. It's not like, oh, let's see how Hector does his work. No, I share my part, and we see how that resonates. And those are moments of great richness and great learning, because it opens the imagination.